honorable and esteemed people of the United Kingdom. You can see the time is 2:55 a.m., which is Monday, which is the 1st of February 2021, and this is the BBC News which is coming. Week in Parliament, and that's the way it is. So it's BBC News Ashley, the Sky channel, and I'm going to do the login of the day that I have already sent to 44 friends on the iPhone messages as always, and to 13 friends on the WhatsApp, so on and so forth. So we're going to do the login of the day now, and I'm going to plug this phone into the mains and also open up the other one, and then quickly, as quickly as I can do it, send it off to yourselves on the video, because seeing is believing, and it is of core importance in this case to carry on with making it public as to what the stark reality is. That is the advice of the Parliament's inquiry, that this case is mirroring the Parliament's inquiry 1995 into the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry, into judiciary, police and the public servants that join Freemasonry. So that is what it is. However, we're going to go through the last 24 hours, and you can see this is Sony Max HD at 12 a.m. on the 31st of January 2021, and this is Aaj Tak India today at 12 a.m., which is midnight at and then you can see that the time and date here is 31st of January 2021, and it says 12:43 on this. And furthermore, and I'm a bit surprised it's not showing the BBC News or the others that should have shown, for I had done quite a few, but you can see the time and date, which is after the 30th, and you can see that the 31st here it will start. Here is the 31st of January 2021, which is saying 12:34, and then 31st of January 2021 12:34, another one, and then Sony Max, which is saying, which is displayed there, you can see on the TV, which is a scan from them, and it's giving the exact time, which is at 12 a.m. just on the onset of the 31st of January 2021, which is 24 hours ago. And so Aaj Tak India today is another Sky News channel, which is an Indian channel but broadcasted in the United Kingdom. And then you can see 31st of January 2021, 12:43, and then 12:43 furthermore. And then you can see that that is a video that was filmed last night, which is you can see 3 a.m. on Sunday. It was Sunday yesterday. Today is Monday, of course, 1st of February 2021, which is a Monday, and it was Sunday yesterday, so it was filmed at 3 a.m. similar time. It's not far from what we are now, and so 3 a.m. on Sunday on the 31st of January 2021, and it says 3 a.m. on that one as well. That is good. And then you can see that it consists of 1 hour 46 minutes and 26 seconds. And then furthermore, yourselves can also see that it was sent, duly sent to the 44 friends on the iPhone messages, the iCloud link of that video that we have just shown yourselves, which has the login of the previous day that I've been home all day. So I have been a law-abiding citizen ever since the coronavirus has also started. And of course, forever I have been, no matter what my age, whether I was in India or in the United Kingdom, and I've been in the United Kingdom more than 35 years, and I've always been a law-abiding citizen, and I've hardly ever gone out only if I had some very important tasks to do to the city center, which is very rarely after 1 or 2 months that I've been ever since March, so on and so forth, more than 6 months ago, you can see. So it's very rarely I've gone, and yourselves have always known every single bit of it, including the receipts of what I have done, and I always use my Visa debit, and that's the way it is. So here are the 44 friends on the iPhone messages, and you can see that this was sent early hours of the morning, which is at 5:13 a.m. in the morning, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And then we go to the next one, and you can see that one is at 11 a.m., which is because I slept very late hours of the morning. I slept about 7 o'clock in the morning, and then woke up at about 10:30. And or yeah, about 10-20 or so. And then of course I had to compile these and write on top of all the scans, with the time and date and of the address, and then send it off to the 14 friends on the WhatsApp, etc. And so here it is, you can see here, which is displayed here, at 11 a.m. on BBC News HD. And then you can see Sky News HD, which is at 11 a.m. and then Aaj Tak India Today at 11 a.m. And then furthermore, it's giving the time, which is, you can see, 11:16 on the 31st of January 2021. And then furthermore, 11:16, and oh God, we have to make sure that we do not miss any of those. And you can see Republic Bharat at 11 a.m. and Sony Max HD at 11 a.m. And then furthermore, this is just confirming to people on the WhatsApp, my friends, 13 of them, that I confirm that today's iCloud video link has already been sent to the 44 friends on the iPhone messages. And then sending the enlisting those pages that I have displayed just to yourselves. They have been sent along with to the 14 friends on the WhatsApp, because publicity is very sort of justice and crime pulse in the dark. That is the advice of the Parliament's inquiry, that anyone who becomes a victim of Freemasonry, you don't have to choice, but if you become a victim of the corrupt system of the Freemasons that are unprincipled, that are insidious, that are pernicious. The judges are charged specifically to be pernicious. The police is specifically charged to be insidious. And in general, the public servants that join Freemasonry, all of them, whether they are judges, police, or they come from any areas of British life, of any institutions, they are all charged as unscrupulous and unprincipled, which is a principle of evil, which is in 934 defined in the Rogersaurus, that it's a criminal world and underworld, and it's 7 deadly sins, it's characterlessness, it's consciencelessness. Hard to believe, but when you look at it, it's all by the book, it's none of my making. And you can confirm it's very easy to get the Rogersaurus, the top thesaurus, it's available everywhere. And of course I have it, and I have displayed some of the core things of importance in here, which should be publicly displayed to the people of the United Kingdom, etc. And then you can see furthermore, BBC News HD, which is at 12:05 p.m., which is of course midday, and Sky News HD at 12 p.m. Then ZTV at 12:09 p.m. And furthermore, you can see the time and date, which is 31st of January 2021, which is at 12:27 p.m. And then furthermore, you can see 714, which is Color Cineplex, at 12 p.m. And then furthermore, that's BBC News HD at 12 p.m. And then Sky News HD at 12 p.m. Republic Bharat, oh excuse me, that is 1 o'clock. Look at me, oh my God gracious, I beg your pardon, I beg your pardon, I beg your pardon. Please forgive. Okay, look at this. This is Color Cineplex at 12 p.m. And then furthermore, BBC News HD at 1 p.m. and then Sky News HD at 1 p.m. and then Republic Bharat at 1 p.m. And then we go further, and you can see the time and date here as well, that it is 31st of January 2021. Displayed is the time 13:23, which is 1:23 in the afternoon. And then you can see Aaj Tak, which is 1 p.m., which is on the 31st of January 2021. Here it's here you can see 31st January 2021, which is ZTV, which is a Bollywood movie channel. And then you can see that is 7:20 Max 2, which is of course for the audiences of Great Britain, and it displays the time and date of Great Britain with the Sky channels. So you can see 7:20, which is Max 2, which is also a Bollywood channel, movie channel, and it's 31st of January 2021. Oh gosh. And then furthermore, you can better not miss what is going on. That's quite all right. So BBC News HD, which is at 2:25 p.m. And then that is Republic Bharat at 2:30 p.m. And then Aaj Tak India Today at 2:31. And then furthermore, okay, and you can see the time and date, which is at 2:44 p.m. on the 31st of January 2021. And you can see that is the kitchen that's making a cup of coffee at 2:46 uh, and that is the entire kitchen, and you can see the mug lying there along with the kettle and all the other things, the coffee mate and the coffee itself and hot chocolate and so on and so forth. And then you can see this is Sony Saab, which is at 229, excuse me please, and then that one is also 1429, 229, which is color Cineplex, and then furthermore Sony Max 2, which is at 12:29 p.m. And then furthermore, oh God gracious, this is Sony Max, this is Sony Saab. That was Sony Max 2, and this is Sony Saab. They're entirely different channels, two different channels, 14:29 p.m. And then you can see 714 Color Cineplex, also Bollywood movie channel. There are quite a few Bollywood movie channels, and two of them are the news channels as well, which is Republic Bharat and Aaj Tak India Today. They are news channels. And then you can see 714 Color Cineplex at 229 and Sony Max 2 at 220. Sorry, it should be, yeah, it is 1429, so it should be 1429. And then furthermore, that you can see the time and date for yourselves, that it is 31st of January 2021, which is at 3:13 p.m. And then furthermore, we keep going. You can see that 3 p.m. is displayed on this, which is BBC News HD, which is of core importance. And then Sky News HD as well, which is again equally important, which is at 3 p.m. And then Aaj Tak India Today is here at 3:05 p.m. And then 3:29 is the time on it, but those are displayed after, typing in and everything of quite a few of those. It takes time, and then you put the scan, you do a snapshot along with it, etc. And you can see 31st of January 2021 at 3:29. And then you can see that Republic Bharat at 3 p.m. and Zee Cinema at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and Sony Max HD at 3:10 p.m. on the 31st of January 2021. And you can see the time and date here as well. And furthermore, oh yeah, these are the photographs of the day, which is of 31st January 2021. And it happens to be me, of course. And then furthermore, and you can see the time and date. You can see the time is 4:14. Which is saying yesterday on it, and so on and so forth, because these are photographs. They are not been done. The snapshots have not been taken. Straight away they've been put in, but that is in the login of the day naturally, and it is in sequence. So it is in at 4:17, and then furthermore you can see that I'm at home, and you can see the portraits of my father, my adorable father, and my adorable sons in the background. And they're all there, and oh God, they don't even want you to see the photographs. Hey, that's very mean. That's not right. They should at least let you yourselves have a look at the photographs. They should know that my audiences should know that who's talking, on so on and so forth. And so you can see those are my sons in the background. That's my father, very first professor of Punjabi literature in the whole world with 49 PhD doctorates under him. And also, my father is an authority on Sikhism. He has done enormous and outstanding work on Sikhism, which no one has done after the 10 Sikh Gurus. Now you can, oh God gracious, look at this. Anyways, I'm showing you that this is the news presenter that was on between 4 and 5, and she was on for quite a few hours working on BBC News HD, which is our channel, and then which is our specific channel in Great Britain. And then you can see furthermore, and you can see, oh God, look at this. What the hell, that is so mean to do that. Lord, the moment I start talking and I start telling you something, these people are into an identity theft. They are into making sure that nobody knows the reality and the crux of the matter, and in a suppression of truth and burial of truth and hidden agenda and persistent offenders and no remorse. And that's what Freemasonry is about: aiding and abetting moneyists and sharers, self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash of kind, in the words of Right Honorable Chris Mullin, oh God, the chair of the House of Commons Home Select Committee. Anyways, I shall show you here. You can see the books are lying as well, which is of Inside the Brotherhood by Martin Short, and that is the Rogersaurus and Politics of the Judiciary, etc., and so on and so forth. So they don't want me to show you, and that is the young man who was doing sports. He was doing the BBC sports as well, which is about 4:30 or just before 4:30 on the 31st of January 2021. And you can see the international Odysseus displayed behind as well, and so on and so forth. And so that is again the presenter of the day, who was in the evening, who was on BBC News HD. And furthermore, and then I'm shocked the way these people have behaved in the last few days is outrageous, extremely mean, and it's far beyond anybody's imagination that they can keep on doing this over and over again. And then you can see that is BBC News HD, which is at 4 p.m. And then furthermore, this is Sky News HD at 4 p.m. And then this is Aaj Tak India Today at 4 p.m. on the 31st of January 2021. And you can see the time and date here, which is 31st of January 2021, which is at 16:49, or should we say it is 4:49, and then again 4:49, and then you can see ZTV, which is at 4:08 p.m., which is on 31st of January 2021. And furthermore, Republic Bharat at 4 p.m. And then furthermore, that is Color Cineplex at 4:09 p.m. And then furthermore, this is the login of the day that has been sent to the 44 friends on the iPhone messages. And you can see the time is 6:09. The last one was sent, so it was after 5 o'clock they were sent, and so on and so forth, because I was still compiling everything, the snapshots of the day, as well as the photographs to send to the 14 friends on the WhatsApp. And after they were sent, and the login of the day was sent as well to the 14 friends, and then it was sent to the 44 friends, which are enlisted in here. And so you can see that is at 6:09, and they are in 6 pages, the 44 friends enlisted right in front of yourselves. And then furthermore, that is the login of the day. You can see that it's of the 31st of January 2021. Publicity, debtors sophistry, it debtors judicial misconduct, etc., and so on and so forth. And then furthermore, in blue it is even clearer, the iPhone messages. The non-iPhones, they are the green text, and the iPhones are with the blue text, and the blue text shows very clearly, it stands out, and you can see that one, which is on the 31st of January 2021, and so on and so forth. And they're enlisted in 8 snapshots, starting from 12 a.m. in the morning and then going up till 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And you can see here they're 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then they're 6, 7, 8, and they're till 8. You can see that it is done till 4 p.m. And then furthermore, that one is BBC News HD, which is at 6:13 p.m. in the evening, and then Sky News HD at again at 6:30 p.m. And then Aaj Tak India Today, you can see at 6:14 p.m. And then furthermore, that is Sony Max 2 at 6:19 p.m. and then Color Cineplex at 6:15 p.m. And then furthermore, that is making the lentils, cooking the lentils in the kitchen. You can see that it is 7:43 in the evening, which is here in my house, which is 13 Wickham Close, Frankhatton Court, Rusholme, and it's Manchester M14 4HW. And so that is where it is, and you can see that one there, and so on and so forth. The lentils are displayed here along with the spices that are going to be cooked, and that is the entire kitchen. And you can see that it's 7:45 in the evening that is displayed over here. And then furthermore, which is at 8:31, and oh god, it should show the why is it not showing? It will show from here. It should show from here. That is Aaj Tak India Today, but it should also show the BBC and etc. and so on and so forth. So we have to see that. Okay, yeah, from here. Come on, that's BBC News HD at 8:33 p.m. And then furthermore, that is Republic Bharat at 8:34 p.m. Republic Bharat 8:34, and then Aaj Tak India Today at 8:33 p.m. and Z Cinema at 8:35 p.m. on the 31st of January 2021, and Sony Max 2 at 20:43, which is 8:43 p.m. And then furthermore, you can see the time and date on top of it is 9:15 on the 31st of January 2021. And then furthermore, we keep going, and then that is doing the Hoover, which was done at 21:42. You can see that was the time, exact time. And then that is the Hoover in the launch, that launch where I'm sitting, and that is at 21:45. And then furthermore, 21:47, that's again here in the launch. You can see the Hoover there, 21:47, and then you can see the Hoover in the kitchen at 21:53, which is 9:53. And then though of course it was written and put on the snapshots later, just before 12 o'clock, so you can see 9:53. That is putting the chairs away to make sure that I can clean the thing properly. And then here it is in the corridor as well. And there you can see this is from inside this launch that the corridor is being seen. And then furthermore, that is the bedroom that is being viewed from here. And then you can see, oh, it's not giving another one, which it should, but it is displayed later on. So you will see that there. And then you can see furthermore, this is at 11 p.m. And why is it not showing? Okay, it will show from here. Yeah, BBC News HD at 11 p.m. and then Sky News HD at 11 p.m. and Republic Bharat at 11 p.m. And furthermore, you can see the time and date here as well, that it is 31st of January 2021, and it is 23:29, which is 11:29 in the evening. And then furthermore, and then you can see Aaj Tak India Today at 11 p.m. and then Utsav Gold at 11:07 p.m. and then Sony Max 2 at 11 p.m. as well. And then furthermore, okay, why the hell it's not showing? It will show, I'm sure. Yeah, that is showing the Hoover. You can see hoovering at 23:51 p.m. It has been, the snapshot has been, it's been written on top of the scan, and then the snapshot has been taken and the time and date is on it. And so it is showing here. And then furthermore, that is again showing the kitchen. And then that one you can see the bedroom. And then this is showing the TV as well as the because it's showing the time and date on the TV as well. And so it's got this thing on it. And then furthermore, oh God, they are not showing the, okay, they'll show from here. It will show from here. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see here hoovering, which is saying 23:51 because the snapshot was taken later, and that's why it is been there, but you've seen in sequence already. And then furthermore, that's in the kitchen, and then that one is in the bedroom, hoovering, and then that one again in the lounge. And then this one, because they are from a different angle, so there are two of the ones of the launch. And this is you can see the time and date. It is of the 1st of February 2021. This one is showing at 12:14. And then this one is showing on the 1st of February 2021, which is 12:14 again. And then furthermore, this one is saying hoovering at 11:30 p.m. on the 30th. Sorry, it should be 31st on it. Beg your pardon. And this one is saying 31st, of course. So strange. That was not right. That was maybe inadvertently done. Whether it was done by me or it was most likely done by these ones that intrude into areas that they never should. The Leveson inquiry, the phone hacking, people can do any rubbish under the sun and you cannot dream or think of it. So that is hoovering on the 23rd, which is or at 23 p.m., which is 11 p.m. on the 31st of January 2021. So it's all been done on the, and then hoovering at 11:30 p.m., which is 31st of January 2021. And then furthermore, you can see the hoover again in this thing, and you can see the time and date on the 1st of January 2021. Sorry, 1st of February 2021 at 12:27 it says on it. And then furthermore, and then it's showing again 11:30, and then I don't know why it's repeating. Yeah, this is what you didn't see, that everything has been kept back in order after the hoover has been done and the hoover has been compiled, and it's been it's almost going to be kept back in. Yeah, it's no, the wire is still showing, but the chairs have been kept in order, and so it was kept in the store, and it was rolled, the wire was rolled and put back on round and round as we always do, and so on and so forth. So you can see the time and date, which is on the 1st of February 2021, which is at 12:29. And then furthermore, that is BBC News HD showing there at 12 a.m. You can see the presenter that was giving the news. And then furthermore, even though they've been, the snapshots have been taken later, and you can see Sky News HD at 12 a.m. And then furthermore, that is Republic Bharat at 12 a.m. On the 1st of February 2021. And then that one is Color Cineplex at 12:03. Oh God, they don't want you to see. Look at it. Okay, and then after that you can see Utsav Gold at 12 a.m. And then you can see the time and date, which is the 1st of February 2021 at 1:13. Oh God, they've been saying all the time, hijack her, kidnap her, pick her up, take her away, get rid of her. Bloody hell, it's such a outrageous thing. This is something unacceptable, horrendous and extremely mean, and so on and so forth. And then Sky News HD at 11 a.m., Republic Bharat at 12 a.m., Color Cineplex at 12 a.m., Utsav Gold at 12 a.m. And then furthermore, Utsav means festival, and then I wished these people to have an awesome, most awesome February, and so on and so forth. And I've sent them this big long article, which is on the criminal misuse by the judges and the police in Freemasonry, and that's what's showing on it as well. And anyways, we are going to go into showing yourselves what this case is about quickly, as soon as we can. For we've already spent 27 minutes on doing just the login. I cannot believe, oh my God, what can I do? But we've got to make sure that you've seen it and it's been brought to the public eye, because these people are so cunning and atrocious and ill will and malice and disgust and thrust into white lies and concoctions and misrepresentation of truth and burial of truth and suppression of truth and so on and so forth by the book. I'm only quoting from the book, and of course through the experience of many people in the books of Martin Short and Stephen Knight, and of course my own experience. Don't I have it? I've been a victim of Freemasonry over 25 years now. What a shame. And you can see that these are the 3 life insurance policies on 3 deaths, and they've never been cancelled. My husband is the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons for the last 25 years and my death. And he's the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons after my death. And he is the adulterous husband, my dear adulterous husband, who's remarried to another woman for the last 24 years and has another son from the other marriage too. But he's also the offending parent that has been awarded the custody, and he's the beneficiary on the deaths. And that's why he has been awarded the custody, to keep the children in danger and seclusion with an abusive father from whom they had deeply embedded fears in them, and so on and so forth. So these judges were set up and bribed. A chain of judges were set up and bribed, because Freemasonry is a chain, it is a hub, it's a nexus, it's a mafia, it's organized crime, and it is sectarianism, and it is cliquishness, and it's a gang warfare. And you can check on it. You can go to the Rhodes Thesaurus, look at 708, and 708 is the principal connotation, the entry on Freemasonry party, which is giving out that 978 is the cliquishness, and it is the gangism and the warfare, gang warfare, dissension, which is 709, is part and parcel of it, and so on and so forth. And so it's none of my making. You'll find all of that in there. And I've been finding out myself because I didn't even know Freemasons existed. But the judges announced that they are Freemasons and they're everywhere and they're all powerful. But we do believe in God, and I do believe in the goodness of many people, because there is good and bad everywhere. Look at this. Look at this. They want to evade everything. They want to run away from here to there, and so on and so forth. And you can see here that is the judges, which is phone hacking I'm talking about, nothing else. When I haven't even touched the phone, and it's happening, it's not happening by itself. It's done because Freemasonry is a put-up job, and it is organized crime, and it is deliberately done, and it is an unprovoked assault, and it is to break down the law and order, and that is what it is. It's an anarchy, it is lawlessness, and it is illicit and business, and that's what it is. And insider trading, buying the loyalties of the people to do the dirty work for them, for the judges that are set up and bribed. It is they who form the party of Freemasonry, the splinter group that splinters the law, breaks the law into pieces, does the disorder, creates the anarchy in order to entrap the victim by hook or by crook, and doing everything illegal and criminal. And that is what is unmasked in the books of Stephen Knight and Martin Short, as well as in the defined in the Rogers Thesaurus and International Thesaurus, which are the top thesauruses. And you can see that the judges and the police on top, they have been ordered by the 1997 Home Secretary to declare their membership of Freemasonry into judiciary and the police, which is the Parliament's inquiry that has already charged them. So if they are Freemasons, they must declare their membership of Freemasonry, which is the immoral and the criminal world, unmasked in the books of Martin Short and Stephen Knight. And you can see that underneath that is the Leveson inquiry, which is charging the senior police also on serious police corruption in phone hacking, constantly in touch with the corrupt public servants and the corrupt media, which is none else than the establishment-based mafia of Freemasonry that is misgovern, misrule, misquote, mislead, misguide, and so on and so forth. And of course, embezzlement of the rights of the rights and property of the people, and transgression of duty, and undutiful and dereliction of duty, and delinquency, and all those things which are part and parcel of Freemasonry's misuse and abuse, and so on and so forth. So anyways, maybe go further. Oh gosh, they don't want you to see the names of the judges that were set up and bribed on the children's custody case, but they're of core importance, because how can you do without bringing them on the scene, because they are the ones that are the root cause that have obstructed the justice to come through on this case. They have perverted the course of justice, which they have been charged by the Parliament's inquiry of betraying the people of the United Kingdom, betraying the law of the land, betraying the Constitution of the United Kingdom into a public offense and a criminal offense, and so on and so forth. Because this case is not an individual case, it's a public case, because every case, there are three criteria of any individual case becoming a public case. Number one, according to British law, is when any authorities encroach on an individual case, it automatically becomes a public case. If there is anything with which the public at large gets affected, then also secondly it becomes a public case automatically, which there is a chain of bogus court orders and bogus court welfare reports to possess these children further, for the criminals of the case, for shielding the criminals of the case, and for achieving the three murders by danger and seclusion. If the rightful parent, the mother and children are together, no one can harm the mother and no one can harm the children, and so on and so forth. And furthermore, the third criteria is if there is anything of public interest in a case, then also it becomes a public case. An individual case becomes a public case. So it is, what is public interest? Public interest is public good. Public good and public interest are the same in British media law, you can see, which are of paramount importance, which are the importance of highest importance, and they are the topmost at the heart of safeguarding the rights of the common man of Britain. And you can see that what is the three connotations of what is public interest and public good are defined in Politics of the Judiciary by J.A.G. Griffiths. Number one, they are the interests of the state. Number two, it's the national interest. And number three is the interests of the populace at large, which is the public at large, and not any sections of the society, which is that it is condemning, strictly condemning, and and declaring that Freemasonry, which is sectarianism, which is a part of the society, which is only a party, and which is discrimination, partiality, and favor, is an unlawful society with an unlawful oath, and he's only putting a seal on what the Parliament's inquiry is saying on page 185 187. Beg your pardon, 187, that Freemasonry is an unlawful society with an unlawful oath, which is Inside the Brotherhood by Martin Short, available at Waterstones or Amazon, etc. And of course, I shall display it to yourselves because I'm only quoting, my dears. So you can see the Freemason judges in the misuse and abuse of in a public petition to the House of Commons accepted by a leader of House of Commons on 24th February 1999. The case started in the courts in 1994, a very long time ago, but it has been obstructed on a very high level because these judges amalgate and combine Tom, Dick, and Harry into Freemasonry, which is whether they are public servants or they are the family, friends, and neighbors of the victim, which is again unmasked in 880 in the Top Thesaurus of Rogers, and also in the book of Stephen Knight in one of their concluding chapters, etc. And also the chief, the chief whips of Margaret Thatcher's times in the book of Stephen Knight said they will not join Freemasonry because it stands against the best interests of the society, state, and individual, and breaks the families as well, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot more to it in that meets the eye, and all the intricacies are there, and they're unmasked by the book, and it's none of my making. And so you can see that the Freemason judges, what the public petition to the House of Commons is asking, it's the prayer is, number one, is to declare a valid divorce between my husband and myself because the judges made a bogus court order of divorce without the emblem of the court, without the name of a judge, so that even if he remarries, they can still achieve the 3 murders, which they do want to achieve. And but publicity is the very soul of justice, and crime pulse in the dark, and that's why they've obstructed justice all along and perverted the course of justice and not allowed the justice to take place, so on and so forth. So number 2 is to cancel the 3 life insurance policies on 3 deaths after declaring a valid divorce between my husband and myself, who is remarried to another woman for the last 24 years and has another son from the other marriage too. And so cancelling the 3 life insurance policies on 3 deaths, everyone has a right to live. And number 3 is to make sure that my children are safely restored to me, and no matter what their age, they need to be legally reunited with the mother, and the law should prevail and honor the law of the land, because how the judges were set up and bribed, and how they made the counter court orders and the opposite orders when I was asking for custody, and they were putting contract in there and for the illegal possession with my abusive husband and adulterous husband, whose affairs were brought into the open publicly on his own farewell party, while my husband was ENT surgeon in Wythenshawe Hospital in Manchester, where all his affairs were brought into the open by his own consultant on his farewell party, Mr. Wadi Nasser, in front of the entire theatre staff and ward staff and in my presence, and so on and so forth. And of course, the children have always had embedded fears from their father because he's been an abusive husband and abusive father. And it's shocking and flabbergasting. But then you can go to page 12 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, which is accepted by the Parliament of the United Kingdom as evidence, which is giving out that the Freemason judges award the custody to the offending parent. So it's none of my making. And the inept are promoted and the able are destroyed, and the offending parent awarded custody, and so on and so forth. And we shall show yourselves that one. So how now you have some idea of it. And so you can see here, Judge Farrer of Coventry County Court, District Judge Harper, District Judge Rowe, District Judge Brass, District Judge Corn. They're all from Somerset House, London, which is the district judges. And then Judge Coleman from Royal Courts of Justice, Judge Collins from Birmingham, Judge Farnworth, and from Royal Courts of Justice, and Judge Stuart White as well from Royal Courts of Justice, and Lord Justice Wilson and Lord Justice Stuart Smith are also from the Royal Courts of Justice. And then furthermore, the judges made the bogus court order of divorce without the emblem of the court, without the name of a judge on a plain paper which was totally bogus. But this case is a case that will live forever, because this bogus court order, and including many other court orders from many other judges with their names on it, their misdeeds in those court orders, and the names of the courts where they were made and when they were made, what dates they were made, are on those court orders, and the copies of those court orders are in the hands of the people of the United Kingdom in big numbers, as well as thousands and thousands of Manchester University and Metropolitan Manchester University students, two universities who have read this case for 10 long years, which is from 2004 till 2014, when my children grew up and came to the University of Manchester from Altrincham Grammar for Boys. One now is a medical doctor and the other is a mathematics honors and business masters. And I had to protect my children and I had to bring everything to the public eye. But I did make sure that I not only did my own personal case, but I also wanted to educate the young generation on what is the misuse and abuse of authority in its multifacets, embedded in black and white in the books of Martin Short and Stephen Knight, the Parliament's Inquiry. They are accepted, both books are accepted by the Parliament's Inquiry as evidence, and also educating them what are their rights and how to safeguard their rights, to safeguard the rights of the common man of Britain, so that they can become the soldiers of democracy, rights and justice, and they can dawn a new era, so that there isn't any misrule and misgovern and so on and so forth. And the misuse of authority should take a back seat and should die down and finish off, because everyone should live and let others live, because these are only international human rights. In every country you will find that the divorce should be declared and the life insurance policies be cancelled and the children be rightfully reunited with the rightful parent. So that is not much to ask, but that is what exactly it is, and that is the misuse of authority, which is the very charge on the Freemason judges, police and the public servants in the network of the criminal complicity and criminal corruption that they've been charged in the book of Martin Short, Inside the Brotherhood, on page 15 as well as on page 17 outrightly. And then you can see furthermore, this is the Radio Super Show, which is of mine, which is with the Manchester University students who have given me that enormous and outstanding love, which is a stark reality and which will live forever. And they come from all parts of the country and from many parts of the world, thousands and thousands of them, and so on and so forth. And this one you can see here, it says that after trying for 4 years to get her on the station, it is a Magic Bus Lady special, except that this time she actually turns up. Because the police did so much of the anti-propaganda, and I was not happy about it, though I always had the love and affection from the Manchester University students and Metropolitan University students, and I was nominated to become their MP, but it was obstructed by the council because the Masons Lodge is there and the Freemason judges, the judges are top Masons, High Court judges are top Masons. Page 185 of Martin Short, Inside the Brotherhood, I'm only quoting. And then furthermore, you can see that the police as well as the housing, well, I was made homeless, jobless, penniless for 10 long years, and so on and so forth. So they all sit together to do all the plotting and how to crush democracy, rights and justice under the foot, and to do the subversion of the society, state and individual, of the parliament, of the people of the United Kingdom, and of the Constitution of the United Kingdom, and so on and so forth, and disregard the law and only revolt against the law and do a willful disobedience of the law, which is insubordination, and terrorism, which is sedition, which is the very charge in 708 in the Top Thesaurus of Rogers. That is the only thing that Freemasons do. They pledge to break the law of the land, and it is a splinter group, and it is a splinter party, and it's the party of opposition of the law, and that so on and so forth. And plus, you can see all those things in also the International Rogers Thesaurus, but all the connotations you will find that Freemasonry is the other name of Freemasonry unmasked in the book of Martin Short, Inside the Brotherhood, that it is insider trading, which is defined as illicit business, which is illegal commerce, which is prostitution and pimping and black market, and it is the illegal and immoral world. Time and again that occurs in the books of Martin Short and Stephen Knight. And I've been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. and I do not communicate with any of the neighbors where I live because it's an axis, and axis is supposed to be a storm center and a trade center, and also a corrupt administration, which is by the book. You can go to 208 in the International Thesaurus, and all of it is there, apart from finding out that the amalgamation and combine of the friends, family, and neighbors of the victims is done, which is in 708 party itself, the connotation, which is 880 and 882, and then you can also see them, the connotations themselves, the entries of 880, and which I shall display to yourselves. And you can see furthermore, you can see that Marvel, she tells Danny, James, and Chris how she won a beauty competition. She didn't mean to enter and be astounded that she recalls her historic meeting with Cherie Blair and get ready to march down to the polling station as she lays out her plans to stand as MP, which is none of my making. I never had any aim or ambition to stand as MP, but they had seen my love and affection towards the people of the United Kingdom, my sincerity, and they had also seen my skills and abilities, for I'm a qualified lawyer and a journalist, and so on and so forth. And that's how they wanted me to become their voice in Parliament, but it was obstructed time and again by the council as well as by the police, and which is unmasked also by one of the university students that I shall read to you, which is his statement. And you can see here James Robinson, who is the chief presenter of this show, after 4 or 5 days after the radio show, has written to me that, "You fantastic woman, we've had literally thousands of people visit the site because of the interview, and I've had people call me up about it, and it's already broken the record for the most downloaded radio show that we've ever had on our radio station." Furthermore, you can see that is just the opening page of my CV, which is a 14 pages long CV, and then this is my curriculum vitae, which is the first photograph was on my identity card at Punjab University Chandigarh, where I did my master's in philosophy, a bachelor of laws, and also a bachelor of mass communication media. I'm a qualified lawyer and a journalist, and I'm the daughter of the very first professor of Punjabi literature in the whole world, with 49 successful PhD doctorates under him. And I grew up on the university campus. Chandigarh is the youngest city of India, planned by a French architect. And you can see Professor Dr. Surinder Singh Kohli. And my father is also an authority on Sikhism, and he has done enormous and outstanding work on Sikhism, which no one has done in the world after the 10 Sikh Gurus, and that is recognized on an international basis, for he has his entries in the International Encyclopedia of Religion that I shall display to yourselves in this campaign. And then you can see that he is a master's in English too. All his works on Sikhism are in English and have been in world libraries over 50 years, and that's him, Professor Dr. Surinder Singh Kohli, my father, on top. And then you can see me as a beauty queen at the first All India Inter-University Youth Festival. And then you can see underneath that one, which is one of the English plays in which I acted in an inter-university competition. And then that one is the Minister of Education, Mr. Ajnala, giving me an award, which is in dramatics, which is a color award, which is a distinction in dramatics, the highest award. For I was one of the best actresses of the university at Punjab University Chandigarh, and I performed in front of thousands of university students. And that's the way it is. And then you can see furthermore, these are the photographs of myself as a fashion model in college. And that one is when it's from one of the university plays. And that one is when I got selected for Air India's air hostess, that photograph, which is the international airline. And then furthermore, you can see my skills and abilities, some of them here. Skills and abilities: a qualified lawyer as well as a journalist, broadcast journalist, worked for radio and television, excellent communication skills, both written and verbal, interviewing skills, reporting skills, editing skills, eloquent speaker, advocacy skills, leadership qualities. Yes, I was a student leader in Department of Laws, where there were 1,000 boys and 100 girls, and an elected student leader, so on and so forth. But there's also a second page of it that has been removed by the Mafiaism, which has gone in many, many videos before this, but for the last 2 months, it's missing. But I do have my full CV on it as well, but only if I have the time, because there's so much intricacy to this. So we are going to concentrate on doing the essential things first. So you can see here, which is the statement of the Manchester University student who has known me for 11 years now. He was 18 when I met him first, and now he's 29. He has done his PhD from the University of Manchester in computer science, and also has a job with the University of Manchester at present. and so on and so forth. And you can see that it is, he says, he has written that it is my pleasure to write in a personal capacity regarding Jagkanchana Singh, whom I have known for the past decade. I first met Jagkanchana in 2008 when I was a first year student at the University of Manchester. She had by then become a local celebrity amongst the student population of Manchester, a city with around 80,000 students of two universities, the University of Manchester and the Manchester Metropolitan University. For several years, Jagkanchana mounted a very successful campaign to raise public awareness on social and political issues. With no budget, Jagkanchana reached a large audience by giving speeches and by printing short pamphlets which had a very wide circulation. These are remembered to this day by anyone who was in Manchester at the time. I have always been impressed with Jagkanchana's intelligence, her goodness, and the rigor and discipline with which she conducts her campaign. Furthermore, on the next page, he has brought to the public eye. This period culminated in a very widely discussed interview with the Manchester University student radio station and a campaign to become an independent MP, which collected huge number of signatures. Unfortunately, people hostile to the success of her campaign, especially those in positions of power in the council, used every means they could to obstruct her, from denial of funding to grossly unethical tactics. Thus, Manchester lost one of its best loved public speakers. So that's the way it is. And then furthermore, you can see that is the good name of the young man, Dr. Joseph Razavi, who has done his PhD in computer science from the University of Manchester, and he works at the Kilburn building in computer science department on Oxford Road in Manchester. And then furthermore, you can see my 3 degrees which are here, which is, you can see a Bachelor of Laws, which is passed in 1982. You can make it a little bit bigger for yourself. And you can see that is Jagkanchana Kaur Kohli, daughter of Professor Dr. Surinder Singh Kohli. And 1982, that is the 3 years degree of LLB, and all Indian law is based on English law. And so on and so forth. And I do have a certificate of eligibility from the Central London Law Society to do my articles in this country and become a solicitor. But after seeing the extreme injustices by a chain of judges set up and bribed on my children's custody case, I did not want to do anything with the legal profession, let alone becoming a solicitor or a barrister in the United Kingdom or anywhere, and so on and so forth. However, you can see this is the second professional degree that I have, which is a Bachelor of Mass Communication Media degree, a journalism degree, and you can see that this one I've passed in 1984 from Punjab University, Chandigarh, India. And you can see Jagkanchana Kaur Kohli, daughter of Surinder Singh Kohli. And furthermore, that is the year 1984 when I got married to Dr. Inderpal Singh, a medical doctor who has worked in the NHS for over 30 years. And that he worked in Wythenshawe Hospital, where all his affairs, as I told you, was brought into the open by his own consultant, Mr. Wadi Nasser of ENT, and so on and so forth. But I came more than 35 years ago, so I am a British citizen, and my both sons are born and brought up here. They are British citizens too, so that is of course important to make yourselves aware of it and mention it. And you can see that this is my 3rd degree, which is a master's in philosophy, and you can see passed in 1979. And then you can see this is what Freemasonry is all about. It's a partnership in crime, which is embedded in black and white in the top thesaurus of Rogers, which is saying that Freemasonry is colleagueship, accomplice, helper in crime, partner in crime, aiding and abetting, moneyist and sharer. And you can see here that it is a partner in crime, that one, partner in crime, and a friend at court, and a benefactor. And it is also treason and traitorship, and it is a collaborator, and it is conspirator, and it is tergiver satyr. They change their allegiance, duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime. And you can see the conspirator there, and collaborator, and participator, which is sharing the rob, loot, and kill for the people who are hired and then paid for doing the dirty work for them, and so on and so forth. And also making nude movies of innocent mothers, and also doing the hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang raping women. And you can see here 880, which is partnership in crime as well, which is helpmate and better half, which is amalgamation and combine of the friends, family, and the friends of the victim and acquaintances of the victim into freemasonry for becoming a partner in crime, which is crystal clear, and you can see aiding and abetting the murders and partnership in crime and fellow conspirator and friend at court, etc. And then furthermore, you can see 708 party, which is freemasonry, that it is inner circle, it's a clique, it's a team, it's a gang, Gundaism and gangism, and it is a movement, which is exactly what it is, because in Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, it is defined in page 3 of the prologue in the introduction that Freemasonry is an underground movement devoted to murder and terrorism for financial gain, and that's how you can see aiding and abetting in 707, which is partnership in crime, and it's a colleagueship and it's accomplice, etc. And then you can see furthermore that this is also a splinter group which breaks away from the law of the land and breaks the law into pieces in all its multifacets, whether it's smuggling or it's trafficking or it is, which is insider trading, which is illicit business, or it is prostitution and pimping. So it's the illegal commerce as well. It is defined in 732 in the International of the Thesaurus, and that it is lawlessness and it is wrongfulness and unrighteousness, and it is illegal and it is criminal and injudicial and unofficial and prohibited and impermissible. That one you can find is the definition of illicit business, which is insider trading, which is in 674 in the International of the Thesaurus, and you can go to 356 to find out that insider trading is defined as illicit business. And so it's all the interconnections are right there in front of you, and you can see 489, which is destituent, which is pledging to break the law of the land and disobeying the law of the land. And furthermore, let's go to the next page, which is giving out here. You can see that Freemasonry is revolter. It's to revolt against the law, and then it is a partnership in crime. It's amalgamation and combine, and it's an axis where I do not communicate with any of the neighbors where I live, because I've been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. And it is an absolute truth, because where I lived earlier after my father's brutal murder, which the Masons brutally murdered my father because they couldn't buy his loyalties, but we had to disown my mother and brother because their loyalties were bought, and we had to give that on my father's death with his signature on it, that they have become dangerous for us and we have had to disown them and we want nothing to do with them ever, so on and so forth. And then you can see there that Freemasonry, there's a secret society in Freemasonry, which is 708, and the amalgamation and combined partnership of crime. And then you can see that it is fellowship, and it is a brotherhood of sin, and then it's fraternity, and which is a thieving fraternity in 788 and 789 and so on and so forth, which you will see yourselves in the top thesaurus of Rogers. This is the top thesaurus of Rogers, and then you can see that it's establishment based, it's a monopoly of sin, it's combined, it's trade association, etc. And furthermore, you can see this is giving out that Freemasonry is cooperation in the criminal world and uncooperation with the legal world. Very interesting how it gives out that Freemasonry is opposite of the law, and it's opposition to the law, and it's opposite of the law. And then you can see that it is 880, which is befriending the victims, family, friends, and neighbors into Freemasonry, into siding up with them. And you will see side up in a minute, and you can see further that it is 775, which is sharing the rob, loot, and kill by people who are amalgamated and combined by the Freemasons. And then you can see 481, which is biased, which is white supremacy, which is bigotry, which is hatred, etc. And then sectarianism, you can see, which is a splinter group, as well as dissension, which is the gang warfare and breaking the law of the land, and partyism and cliquishness, etc. And then you can see 708 party, join the party, that is take the membership and become one, which is a monopoly of sin. And you can see that it is to take sides and it is to side with. And then you can also see it is a partnership in crime, and it's hand in hand, it's shoulder to shoulder, jointly, collectively, etc. So it is a monopoly of sin. And then furthermore, you can go into the international, no, this is not international yet, this is the 880, which is giving in the top thesaurus of Rogers, which is the amalgamation and combine of the victims, relatives, friends, acquaintances, and family, etc. into Freemasonry. And then that one you can see interpersonal emotion, which is Freemasonry, which is brotherhood, which is friendship, befriending them, which is Freemasonry is befriending, which is obviously for ulterior motives, for all, because it's evilness and it's wickedness and it's the principle of evil which is unscrupulous, and so on and so forth. And you can see here, which is, you can see that this is 880, and this is giving out that it's Freemasonry and it's brotherhood and it's cooperation in the criminal world. It's a mutual friend, and it is intimacy and friendship, and it is shaking hands, which is a status quo of crime, which is a bargain, which is a deal, which is a negotiation. Then you can see friendliness, fraternization, and neighborliness, and then furthermore sociality and handshake. And then furthermore that it is mutual regard for each other in the criminal world, sympathy for each other in the criminal world, participation for all the wrong reasons, for it is the opposite of the law itself. And then you can see that it is the friend circle of friends, you can see here, and you can also see the acquaintances, and you can see the friends of the family as well, and lifelong friends and mutual friends and crony and fellow townsmen and fellow countrymen. And don't miss the neighbors. Neighbor is here. I don't communicate with any neighbors because I've been told that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. But you can see that how a large web of deceit is knitted around a victim of Freemasonry to do an anti-propaganda by untruth, by swearing black is white and white is black. And then furthermore, you can go further. It's a collaborator and it's a colleagueship, accomplice, helper in crime, partner in crime, 707, that you've already seen. And you've seen that it is a partnership in crime. And then you can see that it is also that it is tergiversator and it is a close friend. Tergiversator is changing allegiance, duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime, from loyalty to disloyalty. And that is on the next one you can see here, which is tergiversation, change of allegiance. Allegiance is duty, loyalty, and responsibility. And when they tergiversate, it changes from law to crime. And then you can see that is why here 918, which is undutifulness, which is opposite of duty, loyalty, and responsibility. And then you can see further, or just here, that it is renegade and it's traitorship and treason, and that is its defection, its U-turn, it is shifting ground, and it's relapse, and so on and so forth. And then you can see it's withdrawal from the law itself, and it is swearing of the judicial oath, and it is oath disavowal, and that it is denial of the truth, and it is negation, which is negation of the law, negation of the evidence, and negation of the evidence and the law, and negation of justice itself, and so on and so forth. So it is injustice. That is what Freemasonry is demarcated at, and it is nepotism, breaking people's careers, which you will see in a minute, because that is also demarcated as gross injustice, and it's entitled as injustice in 650 in the International Law Thesaurus, which is nepotism, and it is embedded in black and white. The basis of the Parliament's inquiry is that they break people's careers and also break people themselves, like they've tried to do in my case as well, which is on page 15 of Martin Short inside the Brotherhood, the Parliament's inquiry, and in the author's note is the Parliament's inquiry's ruling embedded in black and white there. So you can see here that it is tergiversator is a betrayer, and it is a collaborator, and it's a defector, and it's an offender, offending the law of the land, and schematic, and so on and so forth, and double dealing. And it's hypocritical, and it is renegade, and it's unfaithful, and it's false, and it's undutiful, and it's change one's tune, and change one's mind, and change around, and you do a U-turn. So it's disloyalty all the time. And then you can see furthermore that is run with the hare and hunt with the hounds, which is of core importance. Oh gosh, gracious me. And so my God gracious, let's go furthermore. U-turn, and then untrustworthiness, and then you can see that is improbity, dishonesty is best policy, and then renegade and traitorship and treason, and then furthermore defection and abandonment of the law, desertion of the law, and withdrawal from the law, withdrawal from duty, loyalty, and responsibility. And you can see that it's treachery, and furthermore it's forswearing, and that it is denial, and it is negation, and it's abrogation as well, 752, which is making the law letter dead, and it's tergiversator and turncoat and double dealer, and so on and so forth, and plus more. It is renegade and traitorship, which you have already seen. And then furthermore, we were seeing that it is offender, and yes, we were also seeing that it is fail in duty, and it is it is fail in duty and fall from duty. And then you can see that it is to abandon the law, and it is it is to play false, and it is apostolize, which is to change sides, and it's to change one's allegiance, duty, loyalty, and responsibility from law to crime, turn renegade, turn traitor, and you can see join the opposition. It's the opposite party, it's the opposition party of the law. And then you can see that then betray the victim, and then be dishonest. And do not miss that it says that follow the rising star, which is be with the establishment based mafia, the crookedness and selfishness and the criminal and immoral world, and become a party to that one. Oh my God. So on and so forth. And then furthermore, this one is okay, this one is, again, this is tergiversation again, but this is the International Rhodosaurus, edited by Barbara Ann Kipfler, who has done a marvelous job in bringing to the public eye further more clarity of what tergiversation is of the criminal world of the Freemasons, that it is betrayal, and it is treason and traitorship, and it is betrayal to the law, to the society, state, and individual, to the constitution, and to the parliament, etc. And then you can see that it is joining the opposition, it's going over to the opposition, siding with the enemy, defection, and its breakaway, and its desertion, and its relapse, and its backsliding, and its disloyalty, and its denial of the truth, and denial of the law, and disowning the law, and renunciation of the law. And it is forswearing, and it is defection, and it is collaborator, and it's schematic, and it's convert from law to crime, and it's backslider and collaborator, you can see there. And of course, that is of core importance here, that it is also change the mind, but to dance to another tune, which is to play another game to entrap the victim by hook or by crook, for the doing the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people, with swearing black is white and white is black, which is improbity, dishonesty, white lies, and concoctions, and then change one's allegiance from law to crime. And then furthermore, it is unswearing, you can see unswearing is swearing off the judicial oath. And then furthermore, it is tergiversation, which concludes, and that it is traitorship, treason and traitorship, and forsworn, and collaboration, and faithlessness, and disloyalty, and schematic, and breakaway group, splinter group, and opportunistic. And then we do come finally to the illicit business, which is in the International Rhodosaurus, that it is illegal activity of making money. That's how my husband is the beneficiary on the deaths of my sons after my death. And furthermore, you can see that it's illegal commerce, and it is shady dealings, it is a protection racket, it is organized crime and mafia, and it is prostitution and pimping. That's why it is called that it is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, because it is embedded in black and white in the Rhodosaurus as well, that the judges that sell justice out of court, which is the very charge of the Parliament's inquiry, that they sell justice out of court, and then they are wicked, and they are evil, and they are sinful, and they are in the world of sin, and they are also racist. They are into racism, and they are into criminal offense, and they are into criminal intent as well, and so on and so forth, which is 914 in the top thesaurus of Rogers. And then it is the principle of evil in 934, which is wickedness, which is part and parcel of it, which mentions quite clearly and declares to deform the victim's character by distortion of truth, by hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, which is 655 in the Rhodosaurus. And you can also see hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, which is all interconnected, because the word hypnotism is under the secret influence of Freemasonry, the political influence, the word influence that is demarcated and pinned down, documented and declared in the should I say, oh my God, what was I talking about? Anyways, what was I talking about? I've just gone to look at the TV and I've forgotten all about it. I am so sorry. Anyway, it's black marketing, and it's prostitution and pimping. Oh yeah, I was talking about the secret influence. You'll have to see Martin Short inside the Brotherhood, that it is the secret influence of the Freemasons, of the criminal world, mafiaism, that is the police, which is charged of becoming a nexus and doing organized crime with the rest of the public servants that join Freemasonry. And then you can also see that all this, that 178 is secret influence, which says hypnotize, and it also says to change to something different. It also says counteraction, which is 182, etc., and so on and so forth. So it's all giving out all the interconnections, and that it is 523, which is latency, secrecy, latency, and concealment of Freemasonry, which is inert 175, which is hypnotize and anesthetize and gang rape, which is 375, and you will find all of that in there. So it is all it falls into place, and it's all in sequence, and it leads, one thing leads to another, and so on and so forth. Anyways, you can see that it is drug smuggling, it's dope smuggling, and it is stolen property, and it is black marketing, and it's dope pusher and drug pusher and receiver of stolen goods, and it's under the counter, and it's black market, etc. And furthermore, let's go into this one, that Freemasonry is 525. It's the Rogers Thesaurus, that Freemasonry is concealment, secrecy, latency, and concealment. Is burial of truth, and the suppression of truth. It's ulterior motive and hidden agenda, and it is the burial of the victim to silence the victim. Silence is because Freemasonry is defined in the Rogers Thesaurus as quietude by death. So you can see that it is Freemasonry is obfuscation, it is misinformation, disinformation, it is misteach, and it is a white lie, it is a dishonesty, and it is subterfuge, which is reverse of truth, which is untruth and trickery and deceit, and furthermore, which is a false friend, and it is wolf in sheep's clothing. And you can see furthermore suppression of truth and cover up, official cover up the unofficial criminal activity, and you can see 543 untruth, and then you can see duplicity 541, and then furthermore you can see that it is silence the victim, and then you can see oracular confession, and also you can see hearing in camera, which is behind closed doors, which is illegal and criminal. It's the opposite of British law's open justice principle. Justice should be seen to be done whether it's done or not. Its test is public scrutiny, public eye. Publicity is the very soul of justice. Crime pulse in the dark. And that the argument and also the evidence should be known publicly to the people of the United Kingdom to make up their own mind as to what sort of justice has been administered in their name by the public servants in the democracy of the United Kingdom. And you can find all of that in Media Law by Jeffrey Robertson and Andrew Nicol. They are the top media law barristers of the country, and it's none of my making. I'm only quoting from there. And then furthermore, you can see that this one, you can see that Freemasonry is secluded. That's why my husband has my sons, because if the rightful parent and children are together, no one can harm the children, no one can harm the mother. And then you can see furthermore that it is behind the scenes, it's undercover, it is underground, and it is distorted. And then furthermore, you can see that it is distorted is right there, and then you can see it's concealed, and it is non-committal, and it is hugger-mugger, and it's underhanded, and so it is non-committal, which is unaccountability, which is illegal and criminal, which is obviously guilty. And then you can see that it is it's concealment, and it is concealment of the truth, because it is shameful, shameless, and something rotten, and it's illegal and criminal. And you can see that it's underground, and it is whitewash, and that it is shameful and shameless and something rotten, and it's eclipse, and it's darken, to darken the to bedim the victim, and also defame the victim, and to blemish the victim. And it's an eclipse, and it's keep the secret, and then keep one's mouth shut and not breathe a word, and neither confirm nor deny, which is to make the blunder of their lives, to make sure that they are committing the blunder of their lives and admitting and confirming that they are guilty, and deadly guilty. That is, they're caught up in their own web of deceit when they do something like that. So on and so forth. It's very interesting and disgusting at the same time. However, you can see 541, Freemasonry is falsehood. It is untruthfulness, deceitfulness, it is perfidy, which is dishonesty is the best policy, that it is oath breaking, it is perjury, it is false swearing, it's forgery, invention of lies, it's fabrication. And you can see the faking and forgery, which is faking the truth. That is what they want to do. They want to do this, what do we say? Which is identity theft. They don't want anyone to know that I have a master's in philosophy, a bachelor of law, bachelor of mass communication media. I'm a qualified lawyer and a journalist, one of the most famous girls of my times, a beauty queen, and the first All India International Youth Festival. Um, Best Actress of the University with the distinction in dramatics, a student leader in Department of Laws with 1,000 boys and 100 girls, convener of the Cultural Society, and also the vice president of the Cultural Society in a male-oriented situation, etc., which was more than 35 years ago, so on and so forth. Anyways, you can see here that it is invention, it is double talk, it is distortion of truth, it is false coloring, it is a misrepresentation of facts. It's none of my making. It's right in front of yourselves. And it's sophistry 477, which is proving that white is black. And then also proving that black is white, which means what? It means that the judges who are guilty, they are justifying themselves and they are proving that what they have done is absolutely wrong, because when they are doing the confession is coming to the society and it's being declared that they're proving that white is black and black is white, they're only making themselves bare and naked before the society, state, and individual that they are guilty and nothing else but guilty. But also there is the vindication, which is 927, is giving that it is to defend themselves, that is giving out the entire concept of Freemasonry, and it is also giving out that they do a false accusation, which is with implanting of false evidence and with a false oath of the victim. And so that is what Freemasonry is about, and defending the guilty judges that are already red-handed and do not have any excuses, and they do unforgivable and wicked and sinfulness, which is in 936, which is guilt, which is also demarcated and pinned down, and it is part and parcel of 914, which is the judges that are the guilty judges, the Freemasons that sell justice out of court. It's none of my making, my dears. You can confirm all of that, and of course I'll show yourselves many things, and you can see that false conduct and improbity, and then you can see furthermore it's a false show, and it is false piety, and it is cheating and bungling, and it is a put-up job, and it is a frame-up of the victim. And put-up job, you know that it is organized crime, it's deliberate, and it is pretension, and it's cunning, and it's false, and it's untruthful and truthless, and it is forswearing, and it is forsworn, and it is perfidious, and it's treacherous, and it's cunning, and it's untruth, and it's perjured, and it is ambiguous and dishonest and falsified and embellished. And then you can see that it is fake and phony, and it's bogus, and it is deceptive, and it's cheating and bungling, and it is deceiving, and it is fixed, and is trumped up and hypocritical, and that it is double-tongued and double-dealing. That is what it is. The corrupt administration on the axis is specifically double-tongued and double-dealing, and all of them are, whether it's the councillors or the housing or anybody else or the police, etc., who are in there. The Freemasons, they're all into being two-faced and into swearing black is white and white is black. And you can see here swearing that black is white. You already saw the sophistry, and then you can see the subterfuge, which is swearing black is white and white is black. And you can see that it is utter falsehood. That is very interesting, isn't it? Utter falsehood, and then tell a tale, and then tell a fib, and tell a white lie, and then make believe and put a false construction, which is a misconstruction, which is a misrepresentation of facts, which is untruth and the opposite of truth, reverse of truth, which is subterfuge. And furthermore, yourselves can see which is here, which is a subterfuge, which is untruth, which is a reverse of truth, opposite of truth, which is reverse the image of the victim, which is 14 in the top thesaurus of Rogers, and then it's falsehood, subterfuge is falsehood, and it is also a downright lie, it's a barefaced lie, it's a shameless lie, it's a white lie, and it is a false statement, it's a broken word, which is change of allegiance from law to crime, it's a dicer's oath, it's breach of public trust. Dicer's oath is insider trading, which is illicit business in 356 as well. In the International of the Thesaurus, it's breach of public trust, and it's perfidy, dishonesty is the best policy, and false oath, and it's a false evidence, and it's a trumped up story, and that it is frame up of the victim, and it is all false fabrication and white lies and invention, and it is false excuse and a misstatement and misinformation, disinformation, misrepresentation of facts, it's misteach and perversion, and then it is falsification of truth and misrepresentation, misinterpretation, and which is also anti-propaganda, which is what they did when the police came to Owens Park with thousands of Manchester University students reside. They did a lot of anti-propaganda and wanted to amalgamate and combine as many students uh, into swearing black is white and white is black, and also the immoral and criminal conduct which was unmasked to me by them all the time, and so on and so forth, because they cannot imagine how much I know of what was being done. It was not behind the scenes. When the mafias grow and grow, then they also get it all comes out into the open, and it becomes an open secret, and it becomes common knowledge, and that's the way it is. For thousands of students have told me that I've been anesthetized and gang raped, anesthetized and given injections to hasten death. And then you can see it's a false show, it's make believe, and it is false plea, and it's subterfuge, evasion, and pretext, etc. Then you can see the photographs of my sons. These are after separation. You can see both my sons. Children always love both parents, and they deserve the love of both parents. And then you can see that that is my father. He was brutally murdered by the Masons just before he died. But when I wrote for the first time in my campaign that my father was brutally murdered and the police is racist, the police actually picked me up from Owens Park when I was giving out my campaign to the students, because they were only watching, they were doing the witch hunting and looking at every day what she has written in the campaign, which I used to type in the central library, and it was read straight away before I even distributed it, and so on and so forth. So anyways, they picked me up and took me to the police station and took my handprints without any reason, which was only to say that, to blackmail me, that we've got your handprints and we can false charge you, etc., and so on and so forth, which I told one of the solicitors, who said to me, "You're clearly very bright." She gave me a compliment, and she affirmed and confirmed that that is exactly what they do. But that is the very charge on the Freemasons judges as well, that they implant the false evidence, and the police's charge of organizing crime for the Freemason judges, and protecting them, defending them, and defeating the victim. And it's also embedded in black and white in Martin Short and Stephen Knight. That is in my public campaign. For thousands and thousands of students have know about it, because it's been written in my handwriting, and it's been given in the campaign every single day for many years, that this is what they did. They took my handprints, and that it says in Martin Short and Stephen Knight specifically that the Freemason police is charged for implanting false evidence and false oath and everything, which is exactly the same, which is 927 and 928 in the Rogers Thesaurus. So it's none of my making, it's all there. And that's why there has been a parliament's inquiry, because it's shocking and flabbergasting how they do the excessive corruption and excessive criminal actions, which is a criminal offense and a public offense to do that to anyone. And then you can see here, my children are with their grandfather, with my father in here, both my sons, and then that is my older son with my father, with his grandfather in there. And these are my children with me in my joint property, which was sold behind my back, which was done with perjury and forgery, which is 55 Barrington Road, Altrincham, Cheshire, WA14 1HZ, which was, of course, the children are there before separation in that home with me. And I've never been given a single penny by my husband, so on and so forth. It's all about the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people. And so they brutally murdered my father, that is just before he died. And then we had to disown my mother and brother, as I told you. And then you can see these are my 3 speeches on the web, which are addressed to the youth of the United Kingdom specifically. And this is addressed to the people of the United Kingdom by the Magic Bus Lady, which is, I have quoted the speech of one of the greatest parliamentarians in my speech, which is of Right Honourable John Bright, of the United Kingdom, who gave his speech in 1869 to the House of Commons, and in which he said, in his famous speech, he said, "There is no permanent greatness to any nation unless it be based on morality, unless the light of the Constitution reaches the cottage in which the nation dwells, and unless the government of the day shares the fair share of comforts with the large body of people among whom they live. They have yet to learn the the duties of the government, and so on and so forth, which is a wonderful speech, a beautiful speech, and it applies to every country, not only to the United Kingdom, because he has also said a general thing that there is no permanent greatness to any nation unless it be based on morality. And then furthermore, this is my second speech, which is The Light of the Universe, and the third speech is Here and Now or Never by Jagannath Singh. So I would like that the young generation should become the light of the universe. It should change law, change the dawn a new era, and make sure that the law is never demeaned, and it's never degraded, and it's never tampered with, and so on and so forth, that they become the light of the universe and safeguard the rights of the common man of Britain and of the world. So this is Dr. L.M. Singhvi, the High Commissioner of India in London, who I did interview for the African Caribbean Nation Lawyers Group. You can see here Jagannath Singh, that's on the cover of the magazine. And I was the Asian legal correspondent of the African Caribbean Nation Lawyers Group of Central London Law Society. And then you can see this one on top is the Golden Independent Anniversary of India, which I did the interview. I'm talking of interviews, but this is a report which I did for the Central London Law Society magazine of Asian African Caribbean Nation Lawyers Group, which is on the Golden Independence Anniversary of India, which was held in Hilton Hotel, where Right Honorable Tony Blair was invited. He was the Prime Minister by Dr. L.M. Singhvi, but he couldn't come, so he sent his friend, that was Peter Mandelson, the MP, to grace the function, so on and so forth. So I want to just quickly do, because there's so much to it, and anyways, this is Peter Mandelson himself, the MP. And you can see here again Jagannath Singh, which is His Honor Judge Mota Singh, and that is also on the cover of the magazine. That, and you can see ACA lawyers, which says here, which is Prince Charles as well, it's being mentioned there, and so on and so forth. And I did also interview the Chief Justice Supreme Court of India, that was His Lordship Justice MD, and all these the photographs of my children and myself are with thousands of Manchester University students, and of my father as well. And they also have the copies of all the bogus court orders, bogus court welfare reports made without court directions to possess my children further illegally through the criminal world, judges, etc. And they also have the copies of all my work of these interviews that I did for the Central London Law Society, etc. And I was promoted to become the Asian editor of the magazine. However, you can see that is His Honor Judge Mota Singh, which is on the web, which is a very handsome photograph. And then furthermore, that is His Honor Judge Mota Singh with the Honorable British Judiciary. And then furthermore, we go up straight into the essential points of what it entails: the Parliament's inquiry, which is the basis of the Parliament's inquiry, the Brotherhood, because Martin shot inside the Brotherhood only came into existence because of the Brotherhood. It's a sequel of the Brotherhood, and it follows from it. And so you can see the Brotherhood, which is giving out that in the chapter of the government on page 205, that the bribes are secretly passed under the table in Freemasonry. You can see that there is a well-established system within Freemasonry for passing money untraceably from one Mason to another. And then furthermore, it's giving out on page 119 of Stephen Knight that Freemasons swear on oath to help any other Mason to the detriment of non-Masons, and detriment is to rob, loot, and kill. Detriment is to make nude movies of innocent mothers. Detriment is to hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape innocent women, and so on and so forth. So, and then furthermore, page 114 of Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, is giving out that, which is the conclusion of the police chapters, that Freemasonry is a Masonic witch hunt, and many people want to see Masonry banned in the police, and that there are political extremists that also sit in the House of Commons to crush democracy, rights, and justice, to aid and abet the murders, to swear black is white and white is black. And then furthermore, you can see the Great Debate, which is the police chapter, opening police chapter, which is charging the police, Freemason police, is charged of being inseditious, which is untrustworthy, which is breach of public trust, which is insubordination, willful defiance of the law, revolting against the law, and being seditious, and also tergiversating, changing allegiance from law to crime, etc. And then you can see further here, the defenders of the law become the offenders of the law. And then you can see further here, which is of core importance, that the Freemason police is charged for arranging robberies and murders well in advance between the police in the Masons Lodge with the other criminals of the Masons Lodge, and then vanishing from the scene of the crime and allowing the crime to take place. And then you can see that the Freemason police is also charged of ruining the livelihoods and doing blackmail and violence to the non-Masons, but the non-whites are mistreated to the utmost because it's hierarchy and it is institutional racism. And you can see the system, which is the chapter on the legal system, where the judges are charged, Freemason judges are charged of selling justice out of court. And you can see here Freemasonry is such a grey eminence that proceedings in open court are merely an outward show, while everything is decided well in advance, long before the cases involving Masons go to the court. And then furthermore, after they sell justice out of court and the bribes are passed under the table, they also exert their charge of exerting a pernicious influence, the judges, via others, etc., surrounding the victim, which is pernicious, is broad-based. It means that it is deadly, it's lethal, and it is poisonous, etc. But in its two connotations in specific entries in the International Law, the Thesaurus by Barbara and Kifler, edited by her, it says in 308 that pernicious is the unlawful killing of the victim by hook or by crook, whether it's a riot or it's a mass murder or it is a gunman or it's a terrorist or it's poison, etc. But it is to nip in everything in the bud. It is to get rid of the victim. It's to hasten the death of the victim, and it's a death deal. So it is unlawful killing, which is done by organized crime. And the second connotation of Freemasonry in the International Law, the Thesaurus, is in 1000 entry, which is giving out that pernicious means to lay profane hands on the victim. It is ungodly, it's unvirtuous, etc., which is obviously to hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, which is given out in 178 in The Secret Influence of Freemasonry, as well as the wickedness of the Freemason judges, which is 934 and 655, etc. In the Top Thesaurus of Rogers, defined in there. And then you can see furthermore, this is the chapter of the Dissidents in the Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, which is giving out that Freemasonry is an organization which is so morally polluted that it may even cease to exist. And that's how it is hypnotized, anesthetized, and gang rape, which explains it all. And you can see, and this is all in this chapter of the Dissidents. It has come from one of the senior civil servants of Whitehall, where all the government departments are, from a government civil servant that is from the heart of London, from the top notch people, who is ethical and moral, and who is saying, bringing out that Freemasonry has become very rotten, and is very concerned, and he is giving out all of this, and he wants it to change, and he wants the rot to stop, and he wants good things to happen and not the bad ones, and so on and so forth. So he's unmasking all of it, and he has also brought to the public eye that only the fighters have any hope of beating the system once it works against them. So it means that if you become a victim of Freemasonry, you don't have a choice. You've got to fight out the injustices and fight for your survival. And furthermore, you can see on page 149 in Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, it gives out and brings to the public eye there is no defense against an evil which only the victims and the perpetrators know exists. So the Freemasons are evil and they are perpetrators. And so it becomes absolutely essential and crucial for any victim of Freemasonry to bring everything to the public eye, to safeguard the rights of their own and of the rights of the people of the United Kingdom. And you can see that these people can poison every part of the person's life, which they do. They do all the illegal intrusion and encroachment. And then again, in the chapter of the Dissidents, it's bringing to the public eye that these Freemasons are a network or a group of unprincipled Freemasons that are skilled in ruining and destroying the victim in multifarious ways, and so on and so forth. And unprincipled, as said before, go to 934 in the Top Thesaurus of Rogers and find out it's the principle of evil. It is the underworld and criminal world. It's 7 deadly sins. It's characterlessness. It is unscrupulous, and it is unprincipled. And it is also pervert, which is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, is deform the victim's character. These are the very words over there, and you can see that there. And then furthermore, you can see this is on page 3 in the prologue, which is giving out in the in the Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, which is the basis of the Parliament's inquiry, that Freemasonry, it's defining Freemasonry here, Freemasonry is an underground movement devoted to murder and terrorism, which is for financial gain. And then you can see furthermore that Freemasonry has many branches in many non-communist countries. That's how we were given the threats in the United Kingdom, and they were followed up in India, and because they have a Masons Lodge in India too, and there are many branches of it internationally in many parts of the world, and so on and so forth. So, and then furthermore, you can see that Freemasonry is an establishment-based mafia, and that its members, Freemasons members, derive benefit from the Brotherhood only so long as the status quo is maintained. And what is the status quo? It is only and only to aid and abet the murders, to falsify the truth, to make the opposite of the truth, to bring the deception and fraud to the public eye, to betray the public, and to do the untruth, and swearing black is white and white is black, and defending the guilty judges, and stopping the victim one way or the other from fighting from justice, and false charging the victim, and doing the entrapment, and doing a frame up of the victim, and of course, and doing the treachery and atrocity and illegal intrusion and encroachment, and intruding over areas that they never should, which is again on page 4 of Stephen Knight, the Brotherhood, and this is inside the Brotherhood, which is giving out on page 17 of Martin Short, Inside the Brotherhood, which is this is the Parliament's 1995 inquiry. In July 1995, the Home Affairs Committee of the House of Commons decided to conduct an inquiry of Freemasonry into the judiciary and the police, into the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry into judiciary and the police, and Martin Short was invited to the House of Commons to give his evidence as well. And after his evidence was taken into consideration, that Right Honourable Chris Mullin, the chair of the House of Commons Home Select Committee into the misuse and abuse of Freemasonry in the Parliament's inquiry, he concluded and he passed the ruling that we believe that nothing undermines public confidence more than the knowledge that some public servants are members of the secret society. You can see that some public servants are members of the secret society whose sole aim is mutual self-advancement and wrongful column of mutual support for self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind. If you go to the former editions, you'll find the entire thing there, but it's conveying it all. It's giving it all exactly, and so on and so forth. And you can see page 15 of Martin Short, Inside the Brotherhood. The police is charged for organizing crime in Freemasonry. You can see police forces, and then you can see the organized crime, and then they're charged as being a nexus, a chain, a hub, etc., and so on and so forth. And it's also giving out that they do often a corrupt influence. You can see the word influence there, and you can go into 178 in the Rogers Thesaurus, Top Thesaurus, and find out for yourselves, and that it's hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, etc. And then you can see that often the corrupt influence, and then you can see that they come from many different areas of British life. Those who get corrupted, and then they are from the law, the local self-government, which is the council, which has housing part and parcel of it, and in the Masons Lodge, they all sit together, the police as well as the public servants, etc. And it's the education, the medical profession, the city of houses, the City of London businesses, the armed forces, the home civil service, the Foreign Office, the Secret Services, and even the Houses of Parliament, where many MPs are into destroying democracy, rights and justice, and into swearing black is white and white is black, in aiding and abetting the murders. And I personally know of some of them that they have done exactly that. They are only there to misrepresent and only to aid and abet and nothing else. So they are the fallen souls. They are only into their self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind, because the unscrupulousness in the Rogers Thesaurus, which is giving out 934, that it's a criminal world and criminal, and it is also saying that it's a carrier of crime over there, that is a criminal world and immoral world, etc. And underworld, beg your pardon. And you can see furthermore that Freemasons, it shows how Freemasons break people's careers and sometimes break people as well. So it does the nepotism, which is breaking people's careers, and then after that they want to do a character assassination of the victim after being unfair in crystal clear injustices, and so on and so forth. And that is a white lie, which is a last minute lie, which is embedded in black and white in 609 in the International Law Thesaurus, which I shall show you. And furthermore, oh God, look at them, they just don't want you to see anything. Oh God, gracious me. And then furthermore, these books are public, my dears. And then furthermore, page 13 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood is giving out that Freemasonry is a mafia. It is the organization of criminals that organizes crime. It treats victims as criminals and criminals as victims. It is the criminal world and the immoral world, and it is consciencelessness, and it is only the disobedience of the law, and it is the illegal and immoral behavior, which is again in the International Law Thesaurus in 655, which is wrongdoing. You can see that one there. Because it's wrongful column of mutual support, so it is underneath that. You can see, anyways, you can see here quite clearly that if there is an honest Mason who complain about the criminal and immoral conduct of their brothers, then indeed it is he which is the honest Mason, and not the wrongdoers who face the ostracism and even exclusion from the Mason's Lodge itself. So you see, that is how it's giving it out completely, that the moral people are degraded and defamed and ousted, and they are excommunicated, whereas those who do the dirty work for of rob, loot and kill, and for also they do the anesthetize, hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape women, and also make nude movies of innocent mothers. They are the ones who are garlanded, they are protected, they are promoted, and they are honored. And that is what Freemasonry is about, the criminal and immoral world, and so on and so forth. And then furthermore, it's again confirming and affirming on the next page. Look at this one, page 12 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood is giving out that the well-publicized events show that the Freemasons acting corruptly, and that in Freemasonry crimes are condoned or unpunished, favors granted or withheld, the inept promoted, the able destroyed, and the offending parent awarded custody, which they have done in this case as well, which I have brought to your kind notice. And then furthermore, you can see this is giving out on page 11 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood in the forward that Freemasonry is riddled with ill will and malice, which is the opposite of the judicial oath, which is to do good to all manner of people without fear or favor, without ill will and affection. And then furthermore, you can see that Freemasonry is also exploited. It can be exploited. It is exploited for career advancement and financial gain, which is the very ruling of the Parliament's inquiry by Right Honourable Chris Mullen, that Freemasonry is self-greed of career advancement or materialistic gain of cash or kind, and that's exactly what's here. No different. And then you can see furthermore that Freemasonry is selfishness, it's crookedness, and it is misused for corrupt ends of any kind. Furthermore, you can see on page 18 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, which is giving out that Freemasons only divert the discourse. They do not deal with matters because they are utterly guilty, and they only go round and round the garden, and they are only doing into witch hunting, and they are into criminal intent, and they are into the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people, into a fraudulent conversion, etc., and changing their allegiance from law to crime. And Freemasons chase their own tail of self-greed, which is again a very interesting connotation, a phrase from the Rogers Thesaurus, Top Thesaurus, and so on and so forth. And then furthermore, you can see that page 185 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood is giving and bringing to the public eye that Freemasonry is insider trading by another name. So you go to 356 to find the definition of insider trading, which is in the International Law Thesaurus, and you'll find that it is illegal commerce, which you've already seen, that it is illegal commerce, illicit business. 732, it is illegal way of making money, it is prostitution and pimping, it is black market, it's trafficking, it is also trafficking women, it is also drug pusher, it's smuggling, drug smuggling, and it is drug lord, and it is drug pusher, which is people are anesthetized all the time. That's what I've been told, that it's been done to me all the time. Shameful, shameless, and something rotten. And then you can see furthermore that the High Court judges, many High Court judges are top Masons, and that they treat, you can see, the ordinary people as expendable nuisance, which is they treat the common man of Britain as expendable nuisance, but they mistreat the non-whites to the utmost because it's a hierarchy. And then you can see furthermore, page 186 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, again bringing to the public eye that there is nothing called merit or justice in Freemasonry. That's why it's nepotism, how they break people's careers. And then it says that see quite that forget about merit. Freemasonry is all about due subordination, which is yes manship. And then furthermore, on page 187 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, is giving out that Freemasonry is a hierarchy and that it is built on rank and fortune. That's how the white lodges are supreme, the black and Asian lodges are subservient, and so on and so forth. And but their misuse is to the extreme, because it's an action of deception, even though all the judges are white, and so is the police. The police is white as well. And but the Asians are misused against the Asians, and the Sikhs against the Sikhs, and the friends against the friends, the family against the family, and their loyalties are bought by the Masons to side up with them and to betray the victim, which you have seen in 603 already, and which is tergiversation, change of allegiance from law to crime. And on page 187 is the most important thing. You can see that Freemasonry is an unlawful society with an unlawful oath. It says quite clearly that when Parliament passed the Unlawful Societies Act, it outlawed all organizations, the members of which are required to take an oath not authorized by the law. And this description fitted Freemasonry perfectly. So it is an unlawful society with an unlawful oath, which is none of my making, even if I wasn't born or never came to the United Kingdom. It was all happening, my dears. And then you can see furthermore, page 188 of Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood is defining Freemasonry, and it's bringing to the public eye again that Freemasonry is a seditious force of British society, distorting the decisions of the state against the interests of the state and against the populace at large. And then it takes you back into politics of the judiciary, that public good and public interest are at the heart of British law to safeguard the rights of the common man of Britain. But Freemasonry is the opposite, and that British law is to do good, is the judicial oath is to do good to all manner of people without fear or favor, without ill will and affection, and that the best interests of the British law are for the populace at large and not for any sections of the society. They are for impartiality and neutrality, and not for partiality, discriminatory favor, and not for any harm or detriment to rob, loot and kill, etc., which the Freemasons are openly doing, and they vouch on it, and they swear on oath to do that, and that is none of my making. You've seen all of that, and so on and so forth. So I shall go down into, and I shall show you my father's books as well, but I have to do another one or two things as well. So you can see that is my father, he's the very first professor of Punjabi literature. They're not going to open this one, otherwise I'll have to go to something else, and I will do that. That's not a big deal. Hey, what the hell is going on here? Because they did it the other day as well, it didn't open up because they did something, so on and so forth. Of course I can show it like that as well. Oh God, but they're doing the mischief. Never mind, we'll go to my account, and I have saved it in somebody's account, and I can show you my father's books in that one, and I can show you some other things as well. And I have his books, some of them in my house as well, so that's not a big deal. However, I shall go into one of these accounts on the WhatsApp. Oh God, look at them. They're trying to open, oh God, somebody's for no reason at all. And this one, I think, should have his books. Yeah, there are my father's books are in this one. That's quite all right. So you can see here are the books by my father. Okay. That is, these are my speeches, and then after that, and my CV is in here as well, so on and so forth. But I shall go straight into showing yourselves the books of my father, and then we shall do the other things as well, which are of core importance, the books that need to be brought to your kind notice, and so on and so forth. And then this is my father, very first professor of Punjabi literature in the whole world with 49 PhD doctorates under him. That's my father again. And then you can see that is the International Encyclopedia of Religion by Macmillan Publishers of New York. That is 2 entries of Sikhism in English of my father in there. So he's a renowned as a Sikh, as an authority on Sikhism. This is the Conceptual Encyclopedia of the Guru Granth Sahib by my father, which has the concepts of all other religions as well in there. And then furthermore, Dictionary of Guru Granth Sahib, which has which is the A to Z dictionary. Then that one, second dictionary, and then the third one is a dictionary of mythological references in Guru Granth Sahib. Then the fourth one, you can see critical study of the Adi Granth, which is the PhD thesis of my father, which the appreciation of which has been written by the very first president of India, Dr. Rajinder Prasad, who is also a philosopher himself. And then you can see Rashtrapati Bhavan, this is the President House in New Delhi. And then you can see about my father, Dr. Surinder Singh Kohli was professor and head of the Department of Punjabi at Punjab University, Chandigarh. He has not only made a significant contribution in the field of comparative literature, but he has also done distinct service in the realm of comparative religion in general and Sikh studies in particular, etc. And then furthermore, you can see that is another mighty work of my father, which is a translation of the second scripture of the Sikhs, written by the 10th Guru of the Sikhs, which is Guru Gobind Singh, and it is called the Dasam Granth Sahib, and it is a very difficult translation from a difficult language, Brij Bhasha, into Punjabi and into English, but it's done poetry to poetry. It's in 3 huge volumes, and it is very distinguished, and it's very unique, and it is very much relished and credited by internationally by the Sikhs of the world. And then you can see Sikh predictions, and furthermore ritualism and its rejection in Sikhism, Sikhism and the major world religions, the Sikh philosophy, and then outlines of Sikh thought, and then yoga of the Sikhs, and then furthermore Sikh ethics, and then strange but true in Sikhism, Sikh prayers, and then real Sikhism, and then furthermore Sikh and the Khalsa, Naam, and God's will and grace and attributes of God, ego, death and after, the philosophy of Guru Nanak, travels of Guru Nanak, Guru Tegh Bahadur, and then Sikhism and Guru Granth Sahib, and the Sikh and Sikhism, and Bhai Gurdas, and then the life and ideals of Guru Gobind Singh. So these are the books by him, and we have already seen The Brotherhood by Stephen Knight, and we've done that one, and we've also done Martin Short Inside the Brotherhood, which is in here. But I'm going to see if the International Encyclopedias, I always call it the encyclopedia. No, it is in here. I have saved it, but it is further down, so on and so forth. So it is in here as well. And then furthermore, these you have seen many of these, but so I am going to see where they are. So they should be in here. This one is giving out tergiversation, and this one is a change of mind. Strange affair, looks like they've removed it, or have I got it in here? We'll come to know in a minute if they are part and parcel of this thing or not, or they have, because they are into phone hacking, and they are into doing that is illicit business, and it doesn't look like it's in here. Strange affair. Just have they taken it off, looks like to me, from here as well. Oof, I cannot believe this, but never mind. I'll put that phone away, and I've got the things in here so I can show you what is of core importance. I'll go straight into 788, and first things first, I'll show you this one, which is giving out that Freemasonry is the judges, that what is the means of escape. They want to get rid of the victim, and they want the victim to withdraw from fighting the case so that they can do the embezzlement of the rights and property of the people, and they can do the rob, loot and kill, and they are into criminal, and they are into connivance, etc., and so on and so forth. And then that is in here, which is 667 in front of yourselves. And then before I forget, I shall go straight into 788, and which is here. And you can see that Freemasonry is bribery and corruption, that it is in bribery and corruption. It is to lure, entice and captivate people into Freemasonry inducement, which is okay. So you can see that one, that it is purchasing the loyalties of the people. And then furthermore, you can see this one, that it is stealing, it is robbing the till, it is burglary, it is breaking house, it is breaking and entering the house, and it is robbery with violence, it's abduction, it is kidnapping, it is body snatching, it's taking, and it is misappropriation, infringement, thievery, act of theft and banditry and warfare, and it is plundering, and it is looting, which is all the misuse and abuse of authority, and it is embezzlement and misappropriation, and it is fraudulent conversion, it's blackmail, and it is extortion and protection racket, and daylight robbery, and it's fiddle. And then furthermore, you can see that it's deception, it's rapacity, and that it is den of thieves, it's the act of theft, and it is dishonesty, and it is on the fiddle, and then it is housebreaking, and it is taking, and it's kidnapping, and it's infringing and embezzlement of the rights of the people, and breach of public trust, and then swindle, and also cheating and bungling, and it is violence, and it's mug, and it's strip, and it's make a prey and victimize, and furthermore that it is a thieving fraternity and it's a den of thieves. And then furthermore, this is the heart of the matter, that how they robbing the till and breaking and entering the home, and then it is robbery and violence, and it's a gang rape, you can see that one, and abduction and rape and kidnapping, which they've been saying, and infringement of the rights of the people, and misappropriation, and an act of theft and banditry, and that it is daylight robbery, and that it is black economy, which is illegal commerce, and it's protection racket, and it is breach of public trust, and it's embezzlement of the rights of the people, and it is misappropriation, and it's a fraudulent conversion, which is hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape. So that is of extreme importance. And then you can also go into seeing vindication furthermore, which is of the judges that want to defend themselves. You can see that it is vindication, which is wrong righted, exoneration, it is clearance, it is self-defense of the guilty judges, and then you can see that it is counter charge, and it is accusation, which is 928, which is false charge, and it's whitewasher, a character witness, and self-defender, and you can see excusable, and then you can see it's a revenge, and that it is defend and patronize, which is false evidence and false oath, which is partner in crime, which is part and parcel of 707, and clear one's name and exonerate, and then you can see that it is whitewash, and then you can see that it is justify oneself, defend oneself, and it is rebut, and it is charge, and it's ignorance, and it's exonerate, and it is make excuse and mince one's words, and whitewash. But it is to defend oneself, you can see, and exonerate and excuse oneself, etc. And then you can see accusation, which you can see quite clearly here, that it's a false charge, it's a fake charge, it's a cooked up charge, it's trumped up charge, it's put up job, it's frame up of the victim, it's false information, perjured testimony, it is hostile evidence, it is counterfeit evidence, it is plant the evidence, it's illegal, and it is a illegal prosecution, it's a libel, it's a slander, it's a stigma, it's a scandal. And then you can see furthermore that it's defamatory, it's stigmatizing the victim and rating. And then furthermore you can see it is inexcusable, it's unpardonable, indefensible, unforgivable, and it is underhanded, and you can see that it is undefended. And then you can see that it is shift the blame, and then furthermore that it is put oneself out of court, the guilty judges. And then you can see this attack, and it is also fake the evidence and plant the evidence and trump up the charge and be false and charge falsely and attack and throw the dice and throw the book away, etc. And then you can see the judges that are, I shall also show you 936, which is that they are guilty. You can see that it is guilt, that it is culpability, it's criminality, it's red-handedness, it is illegal, it's wickedness, 954, and you can see that it is guilty and guilty conscience and embarrassment. And furthermore you can see that it is misdeed, and it is misdoing, and it's transgression of duty, trespass, misconduct, and it is all misuse of authority. And you can see unprofessional and infamous conduct and naughtiness, and then dereliction of duty and undutifulness, you have seen, which is tergiversation, change of allegiance from law to crime, and it's injustice, and it is delicate, and then it is a cruel act. And you can see wrong, which is 914, which is the illegal and criminal world judges that sell justice out of court, and I shall take you there. And you can see accusation, and you can see unjustifiable and unpardonable and transgression of duty, trespassing and sinfulness and murderous and criminal, and it is caught up in the act, and be guilty and be at fault and be to blame. And then furthermore and have have sins upon one's conscience and have no excuse, and trespass and transgress and sin, it's the world of sin, and be wicked and criminality and inexcusability and without excuse and red-handed and in the very act, caught in the very act. And you can see that it is red-handed and it's criminality. And I shall also show you 934, which you can see for yourself, which is here, which is wickedness, which is part and parcel also of 914, the guilty judges, principle of evil, and it is unrighteousness, it's sinfulness, it is loss of innocence, it's stubbornness, it is willful disobedience of the law, which is here, 938, and then it is 738, and deterioration, which is anesthise, hypnotize, and gang rape, and it is tergiversation, and then it is shamelessness, and it is dishonesty, and it's criminality, and it is a carrier of crime, and it is criminal world and underworld, and it's sink in iniquity, and it is transgression of duty, and it is trespass, and it is covertness, and it's 7 deadly sins. And then you can see furthermore it's unprincipled, and it's guilty act, and it is unscrupulousness, and it is impious and unjust, and it is sinful, and it is steeped in vice and oozing with sin, and it is undefying and characterlessness and depraved, and it is vulnerable, and it is tergiversating, changing allegiance from law to crime, demoralizing, it's criminal, law breaking, it's shameful, and it's disgraceful, and it's outrageous, and it is shocking, and that's why it is a parliament's inquiry, because that's what it is. And then you can see that is to be wicked and unjustifiable, unforgivable, and then tergiversate and do wrong and transgress and misbehave and misdeem and trespass and offend and sin and commit the sin and deviate from the path of virtue. And then you can see that make wicked, render evil. So you can see the corrupt administration that they have on the axis. And then you can see demoralize and deform one's character, and brutal and pervert and dehumanize and brutalize. And then you can see that it is devilish, unforgivable, and then it is irredeemable, etc. And it is so on and so forth. And then you can see 655, which is to hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape. And you can also see which is 733, which is that it is white supremacy, and it is a black power, and that it is snatch the scripture and seize the crown. You can see seizure of power, and it's usurpation, making the law letter dead, abrogation. And then you can also see that it is you have seen that it's a black power and white supremacy. And then you can also see that it is misgovernment, and that it is anarchy, which is making the law letter dead, which is the misuse of authority, and the political party, which is 708, which you have seen. And then you have seen laxity, which is absence of authority. It is permissibleness, permitting, allowing it to happen and making it happen. And they on the axis, they buy the loyalties of the neighbors, friends, and family of the victim, and so on and so forth. And abdication of authority, and no control, and crumbling. So it is absolute complicity, and it is connivance. You can see they connive with each other, and they're in wrongful column of mutual support. And they are and it's anarchy, it's breakdown of the law and order, it is insubordination, and it is powerlessness, and it is disobedience of the law, it's reign of terror, it's arrogation, and it's uncrowning, deposition, and dethronement, and uncrowning. And it is you can see it is also illegal, and it is lawlessness, and it is unauthorized, disorderly, and it is to waive the rules and connive at. And then it is permit, and you can see be lenient, and relinquish the law. And then furthermore you can also see that it is also unthrone, dethrone, uncrown, unseat, overthrow, cause to abdicate, force to resign, depose, usurp, snatch the scepter, and seize the crown. So that is none of my making. And furthermore you can also see this one, swearity, which is misrule and misgovern as well. You can see misrule and misgovern, and do wrong, which is the judges that sell justice out of court, 914. I shall take you there in a minute. And then you can see it is arbitrary, and it is heavy-handed, it's murderous, and it is break in as well, which is break into the home, and anesthetize, and gang rape, and which is the thief in the night, and authority. And then you can see that it's oppression of the rights of the people, it's victimization and suppression, and it is violence, and it is iron hand, and it is autocratic, and it is monster. And then furthermore you can see that it is undemocratic as well, and it is coercive, and it is dictatorial, and it is intolerant, which is racism. And you can see coercive and undemocratic, and you can see unjust judges. And then you can see permit no liberties, and then come down with the ton of bricks, but be illegal as well, and criminal as well, and please oneself, and then abuse one's authority, that is, and be undueness. And then you can see misrule, and so on and so forth. So you can see, and of course 914 is not far from here, which is of core importance, which I might as well show you before I finish it off. And which is the unjust judges that are wicked and who are guilty. And you can see here, which is 914, which is here, are the guilty judges that sell justice out of court. You can see that they're unreasonable, unjustifiable, misjudgment, undueness, guilty, 936, and you can see 930, improbity, and you can see B, illegal, which is illegality and transgression and trespass and misdeed and foul play, 930, and you can see immoralist, and you can see no justice and misjudgment and racism, and you can see unjust judge, you can see over there, and you can see nepotism there, breaking people's careers, and illegal, and you can see that it is illegality and it's prejudice, and it is undueness, which is here, and furthermore, and that it is racism as well right here, and prejudice, and furthermore you can see that it is wrong from the start, it is indivisible, and it is unjustifiable, it's harmful, iniquitous, and it is selling justice out of court, and that it is hit below the belt, and it is pervert, which is 655954, and that it is patronize, and it is criminal intent, and pervert the course of justice, etc., and so on and so forth, and that it is 934, which is wickedness, which is right here, which is not a problem, which you will see in a minute, and so on and so forth. It's wrongful, and it is misdoing, etc., and it's immoralist, and it is no justice, and it is also white supremacy, which is 481, misjudgment, uneven scales, and warped judgment, and biased, and one-sided, and unfair, and racism is here as well, and partiality, etc., and 954, and it is 934, which is wickedness, etc., and so on and so forth. And iniquity. So you can see here, wicked 934 is right here. So it's none of my making, my dears. It's all here. And furthermore, I have shown yourselves 788 as well, and you've seen most of this. So I shall go into the International Rugby Thesaurus and show yourselves, which is of grave importance, which is 650, where the town hall, you can see centrality, which is the axis, which is where the relatives, friends, and the neighbors are taken into the immoral and criminal world, anesthetize, hypnotize, and gang rape, etc. as well. And then you can see that it is a storm center right here, and it's a dead center, a storm center. It's a prime focus, and it is center of attraction, it is center of gravity, it's center of activity, and it is a key figure, and it's a magnet. And then you can see it is corrupt administration. It is a vital center, it's a central administration, and it is the headquarters, and it is a trade center where the loyalties are bought and sold of the people. And then furthermore, it is also attention grabbing, and it is to rotate around the victim, which is revolve around the victim, which is here revolve around the victim, etc., and so on and so forth. So that one you have seen, and I shall show you 356, which is that insider trading is illicit business, which is okay. This is gone furthermore, and should I show you, which is we have to go a bit behind, but I can show you pernicious is the unlawful killing of the victim. You can see pernicious, which is 308, which is dealing in death, which is unlawful killing, which is poisoning or a contract murder or a terrorist, etc., or a mass murder, etc., or it's an accident or one way or the other, or gunman or hired killer and terrorist and poison. And you can see put an end to and put hasten someone's death and finish off and kill off and destroy and exterminate and remove from life and put to sleep and cut off and nip in the bud. And you can also see take for a ride, but you can see that it is commit murder and get rid of, etc. So you have seen that it is to hasten someone's death and put an end, kill off and destroy, which is the unlawful killing of the victim, which is done by organized crime. And you can see here that it is pernicious and that it is death dealing, and it is killing of the victim, and it's death deal. And you can also see that it is a death watch, etc. And then 356, which should not be any difficulty to find it. I thought I had kept one of these in there as well. Okay, here it is. It is 356. It's right here. You can see 356, which is deception, which is the action of deception, and it is calculated deception is subterfuge, which is reverse of truth, and it is intentional fallacy and willful misconception, and it is delusion, victimization, and defrauding, and film-flamming, and entrapment of the victim, and that it is a death trap. And then furthermore, you can see that it is insider trading, is illicit business, which is here, illicit business, and it is also double cross, and it is cheating and bungling, and it's imposition, etc., and it is death trap, and it is a scam, etc., but it is a mislead, misguide, and lead astray, and also that it is to fake someone out. That is of course important, and throw the scent, etc., and it is underhanded deal, and it is falseness, which is falseness is right here, which you can see for yourselves. This is falseness, which is oh God, that it is false swearing, it is oath breaking, and that is perjury and forgery, etc., and then it is untruth, which is white lies, etc., and it is tell a tale, and it is also concoctions and fabricate white lies, and it is also untruthfulness, and you can see that it is fabrication, and it is concocted, and it is hashed, and it is forged, etc. And then furthermore, you can go to I'm going to show yourselves. Oh yeah, 609, that is of course important, which is right here. You can see that's which is a smear campaign of opposition to the law, which is the splinter group, which is a fraudulent voter, which is a splinter party that breaks the law of the land, which is where the council, the town hall is there, and the police and the housing sit in the town hall in the Mason's Lodge, and they plan everything and plot everything together to ruin the victim. And excommunication, they also make the victim homeless. They have done that time and again. And then you can see fraudulent voter, and then political party and splinter party, and opposition party, which is the part opposite of the law, which is the illegal commerce, and it is illicit business, which is illegal and criminal world. And then furthermore, you can see that the fraudulent voter is to convince by fraudulent vote, it's solicitation, and it's a media campaign, and it is smear campaign in opposition to the law, it's mudslinging campaign, it's a negative campaign, it's dirty politics, and it's dirty tricks, and that it is a character assassination, and it's a last minute lie. And then furthermore, you can go to 6.1, that it's an unholy alliance, 6.17, that it's an unholy alliance, which is Freemasonry. You can see here that it is an unholy alliance, and it is a political machine that is amalgamation and combine of people into Freemasonry for hypnotizing and excising and gang raping, etc., or false charging and false implicating. And then you can see that it is assemblage, and it's a mob, it's a gang, etc., Gundaism and gangism, free trade area, and it is partnership in crime, and it is unholy alliance. And then you can see that it is brotherhood, you can see here, and it is fraternity, and it is a secret society, Freemasonry. And then you can see that it is a splinter group, it's a breakaway group, and it's a political party. And then furthermore, oh yeah, I have to show you also on 609 that it is that you can see that it is political influence, 609, and that it is political corruption, and that it is pressure group, and that it is a black vote, and it is black power again, and it's a white supremacy, and that it is nepotism, breaking people's careers, and that it is spoils of office and political jargon. And then you can see that it is conversing and fraudulent vote, and it is shaking hands with those who are invited to rob, loot, and kill, or false charge, or hypnotize, anesthetize, and gang rape, etc. And then you go to 650 and look at that one, which is nepotism, which is giving out quite clearly nepotism, which is injustice. You can see that it is wrongfulness, it is inequality, and it is undueness, and it is illegal, and it is one-sided, and it is unlawful, illegal, and wrongful. And then you can see furthermore that it is favoritism, and it is reference, and that it is reverse discrimination, it is inequality, injustice, miscarriage of justice, grave injustice, unjustifiable, unconscientious, unforgivable, and it is commit an outrage, and it is show preference, and it is inequality, and it is inequitable, and it's uneven, and it's unrightful, and it's unmerited, and it is wrongful, and it is unright, and it's illegal, and it is unlawful, and below the belt, and then it is warped, and it is indefensible, and it's inexcusable, and unpardonable, and it's warped. And then you can also see that the undueness, which is nepotism, is here, that it is usurpation, you can see that it is unmeritedness, it is unwarranted, it is unentitled, and it is invalid claim and invalid title, which is calling a magic bus lady a crazy bus lady, doing the reverse and opposite of it when they want me to become their MP and they're nominating me to become their MP, and inappropriateness and impropriety, and you can see usurpation, which is snatch the scripture and seize the crown, seizure, and you can see unlawful and infringement and encroachment and invasion and trespass, and trespassing, which is entering somebody's home, is also trespassing, which is making the law letter dead, and then to gang rape, etc., in the dead of the night after exercising in right, and then to have a leg on and to stand on, and the misuse of authority. Look at that. Impose on, encroach upon, and obtrude, and then take liberties and take overstep, and then overstep one's rights and overstep the bounds, and then make abuse one's rights and abuse privilege and give an inch, and then you can see that it is bother, and then it is trouble, and then it is infringe and encroach and invade and trespass and seize, and it is undeserved and unmerited, and it is unentitled, and it is unmeriting, undeserving and inappropriate and improper and excessive and outrageous and preposterous and unmeriting and unjustified and undeserved. And then furthermore, what you need to see is 655, which is here, which is vice, that it is wrongdoing is vice, it's criminality, it is immorality, it is moral badness, it is uncleanliness, unvirtuousness, ungodly, unchaste, and it is delinquency, and it is moral delinquency, and it is also see that it is iniquity, and it is wrong, it is shame, and it is cardinal sin, it's mortal sin, it is deadly sin, and it is sinfulness, iniquitous, and it is hellishness, it's devilishness, and it is moral polluted and demoralization and moral turpitude, and it is den of iniquity, and it is demoralized, and it is immoral. And then you can see furthermore that it is wrongdoing, that it is evil, and it is wicked, and it is misbehavior, and it is machinations of the devil, and it is evil courses, and it is feloniousness and law breaking, transgression and criminal tendency and criminous, and then it's criminal act, and you can see that transgression and trespass and sin and cardinal sin. And then of course do not miss that it is a habitual criminality, and so on and so forth. It is encroachment and infringement, felonious and malpractice and malversion, etc. And then you can see that it is deadly sin, grave sin, and it is heavy sin, and it is unutterable, unpardonable failure, dereliction of duty, delinquency, and it's felony, and it is crime against humanity, and it is fall from grace, and it is atrocity, and it is misbehavior and wrongdoing, iniquities, sinful and criminous, and crime infested and crime ridden. So you can see all of that there, and that it is crime against humanity, and it's a gang violence, and so on and so forth. And furthermore, what is of great importance is 674 is right here, which is that it is illicit business. Freemasonry is, it is unlawful, it is illicit, it is lawlessness, it is wrongful, it is unauthorized, it is impermissible, it is unconstitutional, it is collapse of authority, breakdown of authority, it's an anarchy, breaking down the law and order, paralysis, and it is illegal, and you can see it is bastardism, and it is sinisterism, and it is infringement, trespass, encroachment, vice, and transgression of duty, and trespass, and that is what it is, breaking into the home, and then doing all that, and criminality and delinquency when there are only criminals in there, and flouting the law and mockery of the law. And then you can see that it is a breach of the law, and it is transgression and infringe and disobey the law, offend the law, mockery of the law, and take the law into one's own hand, and torture the law, and commit a crime, and illegal and unlawful and illicit and fraudulent and wrongful and against the law and unauthorized, unallowed, unwarrantable, unofficial, unlicensed, unstatutory, and injudicial and non-constitutional and unconstitutional and flawed and contrary and punishable and criminal, felonious, criminal offense, and under the table, and then under the counter, and which is unchartered, and it's illegal, it's unlawful, illegitimate, and contrary to the law. and you can see that it is criminality, and it is also habitual criminality here also in this one as well. It says that it is habitual criminality, and it is crime, vice, and sin, and here it is habitual criminality and delinquency, etc. And so it is violation of the law, infringement, and it's a public offense and a criminal offense. And furthermore, before I sum up, let me also show you that in 356 it is a thief in the night, and it confirms that as well, which is here, and that it is also inseditious. 356, yeah, you can see 356, which is here, that it is also obtain under false pretenses and victimize, and then it is load the dice and throw the dice, and then you can see that it is being deceptive and deceitful and fraudulent and slippery as an eel and underhanded, and it's collusive and it's inseditious right there, and misleading, and you can see that it is thief in the night. It includes itself there. And furthermore, 645, you can also see the inseditious, which is of core importance, which is, it is shocking that they took it off from both places. They didn't want you to see any of this. And improbity, unscrupulous, it is unfaithful, it is corrupt, and it is corruptness, and it is criminality and felonious and underhanded, scoundrelism, rascality, and it is moral turpitude, and it is falseness, and it is insincerity, and it is unfaithfulness, and it is untruthfulness, and breach of promise, and breach of public trust, and it is breach of confidence, and dereliction of duty, and false-heartedness, and breach of faith, and it's foul play. That's what it's all about. It's foul play, and it's collaboration, and it's fraternization, which is illegal and criminal, and sedition, you can see there, and it is bribability and purchasability, buying the loyalties of the people, and falsify and cheat, and then it is perjure oneself and pass the buck, and then you can see that it is also cheat and blame and etc. And you can see that it is consciencelessness, it's unprincipled, and that it is underhanded, and it's inseditious, and it is degraded and infamous and devious and felonious and unethical and unconscientious and dishonorable. And then furthermore, you can see that it's slippery as an eel, it is unfaithfulness, and it's fickle, and it's false-hearted, and it is dishonest and crooked and felonious and fraudulent and inseditious, etc., and infamous. And furthermore, it is also a thief in the night. This one is as well, which we must show you, and you'll be able to see that it's not a big deal. False-heartedness, underhanded, and unfaithful, and double-dealing, false-hearted, and here it is, thief in the night. So that's what it is. And then it is, of course, lying, and it is underhandedness, and so on and so forth. Anyways, I am going to show yourselves what the time is on the TV now, and so on and so forth. So, and then we can, and of course, I'm going to show you, these are my sons. My older son, the medical doctor, the younger one, the mathematics honors and business masters. And I'm going to just to put that one in, beg your pardon for a minute, and then I'm going to show you what the time is on the TV, and I'm just going to plug that in, and so on and so forth. And so here, God gracious, I'm so sorry, that one is coming out from there. Oh Lord, I'm in trouble. Sorry, I'll keep that on this table properly. And so that one has interfered, the wire. I'm sorry, I'm keeping you away for a minute. Oh gosh, this thing has come out as well. That's quite all right. Where is this one gone? However, so my dears, here it is. This is BBC News HD, and you can see the time is 5:17 in the morning, and it's Monday, which is the 1st of February 2021, and there is the newscaster. And so that is BBC News HD, and that is what is coming. And so these are the books, Media Law, etc., and some of the books by my father and my sons, and so on and so forth. So that's the way it is, my darlings. And so have a good time, and have a wonderful February, the month of February. Be safe, take great care. All my love and best wishes, and I shall end it here. And thank you. Bye.